So today we are gonna go over what to expect and how to master a listing presentation. Okay. Some of us, yeah, we do the calls. Um, we do the calls, we get the appointments, but there's always a disconnect, right? So you have the realtor that's always calling, always getting appointments, always getting into seller homes, but he doesn't list properties. He doesn't list that many properties. So there's a disconnect between getting the appointment and actually meeting them face to face. So getting the appointment with the phone, that is the easiest step. If you're proud of that you're getting appointments, I am going to tell you the truth. That's the easiest part. The hardest part is sitting in front of a seller and selling yourself as the obvious choice. That is the hardest part when it comes to sitting with an actual seller. Selling the property, that's also easy. There's systems that you can do. You can go for that. You have all the support and all the help once you get on the contract. But actually having the seller sign, that's when everything really starts. Okay, so first of all, let me introduce myself so you guys know exactly who I am, the ones that don't know. So my name is Pablo Gomez. I am the founder of the Gomez Group at Lifestyle International Realty. I have consistently sold anything between 25 to 35 properties a year for the last 6 years of my career. Um, that's only listings. I'm not counting buyers of markets, investments. That's only based on listings. We all want to get to the point to be a listing agent, and that's what I focused on early in my career. Aside from being a real estate agent, I am also the manager of the Kendall office at Lifestyle International Realty, where I'm responsible for the agent's productions. And I'm also a mortgage lender with Columbus Capital. So I help buyers get approved for loans or businesses get business funding. So if you guys need any moments, I'm gonna drop my information to the in the chat at the end. But if you guys need an opinion or an estimate, or if you guys have a buyer that needs to get approved, please feel free to contact me. I offer something that not every loan officer offers, but I'll keep that between you and me privately. And aside from that, I recently partnered with Lifestyle Title, where we are going to be also handling title work when it comes to the sale and purchase of a home. And lastly, I have a special certification, a special designation. I'm the one of three certified divorce real estate expert here in Miami-Dade County. And what that means is that I've been trained and continue to be trained to handle the sale of real property in high conflict and low conflict divorce cases as a third party neutral. So that's pretty much a scope about me. I'm also a family man. I have two kids, and those are my pride and joy, and that is the reason why I work so hard for my family. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. Again, I am a listing agent. This is what I do for a living. Now, today we are not going to talk about lead generation. We're not going to talk about where do you get these leads. We're going to specifically talk about once you've been prospecting the client, once you are ready to sit down with them to sign the listing agreement, this is the training that I am going to present. I do other trainings as well. I do a training in cold calling, which I'm pretty sure I have in 2 weeks, to where I tell you about lead generation, how to get these clients, how to get these leads, and how to follow up with them, which is very important. In the follow-up is where you get the listing appointment. I hope that makes sense. Okay? So let me close this here. Okay. Perfect. Before I start, any questions that you guys may have for me right now before I begin? Please feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, great. So we have no questions. So let's start. Okay. So get your pen and paper, because this is going to be, I'm going to be tell you a couple of points. It's not going to be much, but I'm going to be telling you a couple of points that I do need you to write down. Okay. Unfortunately, once when an agent goes to a listing presentation, they have no idea how to start. have no idea how it's going, and have no idea how it's going to end. That is the worst position that you want to put yourself in, because you can't predict. It's not, um, you can't really monetize that. You can't really sell that. If you can't track your listing presentation and you don't know how it's going in the middle of it, then you have no idea what you're doing. And it's going to be way more harder for you to close that deal at the end. So I've created 5 points where they're going to help you determine whether I continue, whether I stop here, whether I know where the meeting is going, and I want to know how it's going, because at the end, what I want is for them to sign. So that leads to point number one, and I need you all to write this down. 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. All right, sorry guys. I uh I don't know if you hear little noises coming out from my speakers. It's because my daughter, it's opening and closing the door in the backyard, and I have a ring sensor, so the notifications are coming in and out. So I have to tell my wife, "Hey, listen, disconnect that, because I can't focus." Okay, so um, the first point, that's where we were. Okay, so the first point is called upfront agreement. If you can all write that down, upfront agreement. Okay, this is where you set the agenda, right? You want to use what is called foreshadowing, right? You want to let them know what's going to happen before it happens. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. You guys can write this down too. So let's say you got in contact with this seller, you've been kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you want to go ahead and you have already set the appointment. You're going to meet on Tuesday afternoon. Phenomenal. You prepare your comparables, you prepare your stuff, and you're about to sit down with them. First nugget: never sit down in front of your client. If I'm sitting in front of my client, I'm against my client. If I'm sitting next to my client, I'm with my client. Okay? It's just psychology, right? So especially if you have things to show them, you want to show them right next to you. Your computer is here. You want to show them what you're going to show them, right? So being in front of them, try to avoid that. Sometimes it's a little hard. All right. Sometimes the way that people have their homes, or the dining table, or the kitchen island, it's a little bit difficult. But try to always yourself position next to them. So this is the way that you need to use your upfront agreement, and this is what I mean by the upfront agreement. Hi, Juan. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Maybe they offered you some coffee or offer you some water. Another nugget, and sorry, I'm gonna say a lot of those. If they offer you something to drink, okay, say yes, because that breaks the ice. If they offer you coffee, say yes. If you don't drink coffee, then ask for a bottle of water or a glass of water, right? You don't have to drink it. You can just leave it there, right? Sometimes we feel like, oh, it's rude. Oh, no, I don't want it. No, it completely breaks the ice, because at that moment, they're going to have a feeling mentally, they're going to think that you're a guest. You're a guest in their home, you're a family member, you're a friend, and the action of them giving you something from the kitchen does matter. Trust me, it's just psychology. So now I've been in houses that are very dirty. I've been in houses that I would not eat anything from there. So if they have a water bottle, great. If they offer you water in a glass, you don't have to drink it. Just have it there next to you. We'll say yes always. Kind of just break the ice. Okay. So open agreement. This is how you're going to handle it. So you sit down next to them. You're about to start your presentation, and you say, "Okay, Mr. Juan, look. So we can be on the same page. I'm going to explain to you what we are going to go over today. We're going to go over three things. Number one, I'm going to teach you, and no, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do to get your home sold. Point number one. Point number two, we're going to go over the numbers. We're going to agree on how much the property can go on the market. And we're going to go over the seller's net sheet. I'm going to show you exactly how much you're going to be netting bottom line with the sale of the property. Number two. Number three, and if everything makes sense, one, if you like everything about the marketing, if you like everything I'm saying up to that point, only then I would take up the agreement so we can go over it. Is that fair enough? If they say yes, they just agreed to sign a contract at the end without you even starting. You haven't showed them anything yet. And they just agreed that they're going to expect an agreement at the end. You just told them, right? So if they say yes, phenomenal, continue. If they say no, that's never happened to me, because once you get to the point of having the listing presentation, you typically have done your follow-up. I'm talking about a listing presentation. A lot of people get this confused. When you call it for sale by owner or you call an expiry and you're meeting them for the first time, that's not a listing presentation. That is a preview appointment. You're going to preview the home and you're going to do a discovery whether you and the client make sense. That's it. We have to remove the notion that we are for everyone. There are clients that we're going to click with, and there are other ones that we're not. We can't take them all, right? So you're going to go and meet them to see if it makes sense for you and them to work together. Sometimes it may not make sense, okay? So once you get that upfront agreement, you're going to go to what you told them you're going to do, which is show them what you're going to do to sell your property, to sell their property, right? And how do I do this? This is the part there's not really a lot of structure. You can really do whatever you want. This is the other part where it's all about you. What you're going to do, marketing, show them everything you got to be able to present yourself as the obvious choice. I'm going to go ahead and now share my screen because I want to show you guys what I show them. I want to show you exactly what I do at a listing presentation and the material that I show to my clients. And it's funny, guys, and I mean this with no disrespect. There's right now how many people in the training? There's 19 of you, okay? 19 of you. I've done this meeting many, many times. And it's funny because out of the 20 of you, probably maybe one of you would do what I'm telling you or what I'm showing you today, and then the other ones won't do it. Now, this is what I've done for the last 6 years. Guys, let me show you this, because I'm not the type of agent that's going to have a fancy presentation in the background that is going to sell you a dream. No, I'm living and breathing this market. Okay, I'm just like you. I'm an agent just like you. So if I'm nothing special. I don't have big connections. I'm not a baseball player. I'm not a millionaire. I'm just a normal person like you. And I mean that in the best way ever. But why am I getting so many listings and you're not? But I'm teaching you how to get them and you don't do what I'm telling you. So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't mean to offend anyone, but we come into this thing that, I mean, I go to a lot of trainings, but are you really putting into practice what you are learning, right? You have to ask yourself that question. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Here you go. Juliana, can you please make me a host so I can share my screen? Juliana, let me know if you heard me. Okay, great. Let me see. What up, guys? Because I got a new laptop and it's telling me to allow to do something. Okay, allow this. Juliana, it's asking me. Okay, wait. No, never mind. Let me see here. Okay, perfect. Here you go. All right. Let me take this out. Allow. Take this out. Okay. For you later. All right. Can you guys see this? This in front of you. Can you guys see it? Just want to know that you guys see what I'm showing you.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. So let me show you. Let's pick it back to the last conversation. So guys, look at this. Again, this is my MLS. You guys can see my name here. Let's log in first. This is I'm working as a Gomez group. This is my team, right? These are only my listings because I can't really post have somebody else or somebody else's listing on my own, right? So this is my listing. Now let's go to my listings. So right now I have 11 properties listed. I have pending 3 of them, and I have temporary of market. I could have sworn that I had more. Oh, here. And I have withdrawn. These properties are coming back. I'm having withdrawn because they took a break or the situation changed. But for example, this one, 1,000,005 is coming back. Queens Park, this duplex is coming back. I think I should have one temporary of market, if I'm not mistaken, but I think that's for my other agents. But I have another million property coming back. I'm showing you all of this because, again, I don't want to just talk. I want to show you. I don't like when people they flex that they do this and they do that and they don't show you any proof. I want to show you proof. If you go to Zillow.com and you go, let's put the Gomez group, right? If you go to Realtor.com and you go here to Zillow, to my Zillow profile, sold 15 properties in the last 12 months. Last year was a very slow year for me. That's typically anything between 24 properties for the last 12 months. So I'm showing you this just because, guys, I'm doing it. I'm currently what I'm teaching you guys. It's exactly what I do, and there are some people in the brokerage that have come to listing presentations with me with my clients, and they tell me, Pablo, you do nothing differently than what you are teaching. So just wanted to point that out, guys. Okay, so let me show you what I teach, what I show my clients. I keep saying teaching, I don't know why. What I show my clients when I meet with them. So I have this folder in Dropbox, right? So I pull up my computer and I show them what I have previously done, right? Because the same way I'm doing this with you guys, I'm showing you the listings I have and I'm showing you proof of what I'm talking. I do the same thing with them. So I want to show them the work that I've done before in other listings so they can identify themselves with my work. Okay? So I'll tell them something like this. Look at this video. This is typically how we do listings and how we record, how we photograph property. We take a drone out. We show them how the property looks like, and then we do a walkthrough video inside the home. So I'm gonna show you this so you guys can see how I present it to them and how they see it from their end.
I can't hear it. Can you all hear it?
I'm so sorry, guys. You guys can't hear it?
No.
No.
Okay. Let me see if it allows me to share also the audio. Okay, share sound, easy. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So let me go ahead and share the audio.
So you play this video for your potential seller? We can't hear you now.
Now we can't hear you. Yeah.
Okay, hear me now. Okay, perfect. What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
You played this video for your potential seller?
Yeah,
Okay.
this exact video. I actually I've been using this video for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear this time, please.
Yes.
Perfect. What's going on, guys? This is Pablo and Vanessa, and we wanted to welcome you to our newest listing located at 15680 Southwest 232nd Street. Come check it out. Okay, that's one of the videos that I showed them. I'm not going to bore you guys with showing you the whole thing. I also show them this video. Okay? So I show them that so they can see the type of pictures, the type of videos that I take. It's very simple. It's just literally show them past work of what I've done, right? I also tell them, look, I've collected a lot of emails in my career, and what I do is that I send an email blast the moment that I list the property. So I show them something like this, right? Where it says, it's in YouTube, marketing, pictures of the property. As you guys can see, this is the same property. The reason why I use the same property is because we did very good work here, and I do this for all the listings. But this one came out really nice, and the price looks very nice, so it makes me look better, right? Again, this is the part where you want to show off. And as you guys can see, I purchased a domain with their address, and I created a custom website for their home. I'm going to show you how one of the websites look like. I use Wix.com. Wix.com is a website creator, very inexpensive, very inexpensive. I think each website may cost me $30 a month. While I have it listed, I can cancel it at any time. And I create the same website for every single listing. As you guys can see, these are all listings that are right now active, and I have websites for them. So let's take a look at this one real quick. Just want you to see how it looks like. Okay, here, go to website. Here you go. So this is what my clients see. So they have their address.com, and they have all my social media. For example, they can click here and it'll send them to my Instagram. There you go. So it shows my Instagram here, right? Then it has Facebook, LinkedIn. It has all the information about the property. Then pictures upon pictures. I also show them that I do staging, right? So virtual staging on the properties if the property is empty. Let's keep going. Bunch of pictures. I take the plans. My photographer does this. He takes the micro plans from the property. Description, ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT will create a very nice description for you. Video of the home, GPS, so they can go and actually go and get the directions from the property directly from me, and a way that they can get in contact with me. Okay. So I show them this website. Obviously, at this point, they are actually impressed because they get their own custom website. I want to also show something like, look, I do Google ads or Instagram ads and Facebook ads, and this is kind of what they look like. But what's impressive as well is that I have a system that collects data. So this data is shown in a map. So it tells me how many people are looking at your property. So that way I can either throw more ads to that specific state or city or country, or I can, do outbound calls in that area, because this system does give me the people's phone number. They have to put the information to be able to get to the website. So that's pretty neat. They always like that because it shows a very proactive way of selling property. And I told them also as well that I list property on Thursdays. I know this is a lot of information, but write down as you can. This is how I present to my clients. I'm presenting to you now, but this is exactly the things that I say. I do what is called a grand opening open house. So I do like an email blast that will send within a 20-mile radius of your home to every realtor that lives around you, and the email will look something like this, right? So I do what is called a grand opening open house. I list properties on Thursdays typically, and they go live on Thursday, and I do a grand opening open house on Saturday. I do not do more than one open house. Open houses do not sell homes. I'm going to say it again. Open houses do not sell homes. You may think they do, or they don't. The MLS does, and your marketing and whatever you do is what sells homes. Why? Because if I have a property that I listed on Monday and I have no calls the whole entire week, why do you think on Saturday when you do the open house it's going to be anything? Do you think 100 people are going to show up when no one called you? If someone is really interested in the property, they'll call you and try to see it before the open house. I can guarantee you that. So we do open houses to get more clients, us as realtors, right? To get the buyer that's not represented by a realtor, to do promotions, to do content. But if you try to sell your client that, hey, look, I'm going to do an open house every weekend until your property sells, you're going to be wasting time, number one. And number two, you're going to sell false expectations to your client. Because when no one shows up to the open house, or typically open houses are now, you're going to have to tell them. Sometimes clients have cameras, so you can't really lie to them. They saw that nobody showed up, right? So you're going to put them through that emotional roller coaster that I don't think it's fair. So I only do one. I tell them I only do one open house, and I do another open house if we have to do a price reduction. And then I show them lastly that I send flyers all over the community, so that way their neighbors and people around them know that the property is for sale. I want everybody to know that the property is for sale, so that way we can have a better turnout. That's all I show them, guys. This is how I sell myself. That's it. So then I transition to point number 2, which is the second thing that we're going to discuss with the seller. Now, point number 2 is, wait up, let me stop sharing. Okay, so point number 2 is agreement on price. You want to get an agreement on price. So this is the part where you show your comparables. Okay, I'm also going to show you how that looks like. So let's go back to sharing my screen, and let's go to my listing presentations, and check this out, guys. So this is my folder for listing presentation, and I divide my presentations by year. On 2023, I sold, what was it, 23, I think 23 listings. Watch this. Just want you guys to see this. Every folder is a listing presentation, whether I got it or not. These are all the listing presentations that I went to in 2023. Check this out. Just gonna keep going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It's gonna keep going. Why am I showing you this? Because you can definitely look that there's not only 23 folders there. There's way more. Probably double or triple of what I actually sold, because I don't get them all. So this teaches you, right, and shows you how much work you have to do. I mean, sometimes I will even say that out of 100 listing appointments or listing presentations that you get, you probably are going to get anything between 50 to 60%. It's not going to be any more than that. You cannot make a business plan. Can you make me coffee, please? You cannot make a business plan or work thinking that you are going to get 100% of the presentations that you do. That is unrealistic. That will never happen. Okay. Now, let me show you just one example, and I'll teach you here what I bring. Let's pick this one. Let's see if I remember this one. Yeah, I think I remember it. Okay, so this is the documentation that I bring to a listing appointment. I bring a CMA, I bring the Miami-Dade search, and the seller's net sheet, which remember, when you got the offering agreement, it's the second point, which is what we're going to talk about right now. It goes along the second checkpoint to get the agreement on price. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so so once I show them what I am going to do to sell the property, which you guys already saw, I will transition like this. Okay, Juan, any questions about the marketing? At that moment, they'll say no, because probably either the first time or they don't know anything about that. So it's like, okay, perfect. Now we're going to go over the numbers. All right. So you open your CMA. Let me see if I can get this bigger. Okay, perfect. So this is a little property in the middle of the hood. But this is what I show, how I show my CMA. This CMA, you do it in the MLS. I'm not gonna do a training on how to do that. There are trainings that you do. Dennis Bernal, which is the partner in Dayland and in Kendall, he does a very good job of teaching you how to run comparables. He's the one that actually taught me. I will not get my CMA from RPR. I will not get it from IMAP, and I will not get it from Remind. Those are generic websites that can be wrong. AI, it's really good, but when it comes to pricing property, that's what you bring to the table. You are the expert. Imagine going to a banker to open a bank account and they don't know how. It's the same thing as you saying, I'm going to sell your home, but I don't know how to price it. I only know how to plug the address in the system, and the system will tell me how much it's worth. Wrong. You need to learn how to do comparables. If you do not know how to do comparables, go back to chapter 1 and learn it, because it's very important. It's a skill that you need to develop. So this comparable, I will only go over 2 things. This report, it's huge. I'm not gonna go over everything. It's just, they won't understand it. I'm gonna confuse them. I tell them, look, we're gonna go over 2 things here. I'm gonna send this to you. You read it if you want. That's it. So I'm gonna go over 2 things. I'm gonna go over the average price according to comparables and the average days on market. So I go, okay, Juan, look, I pull this comparables. The way that I do this is like an appraiser, because I have to think like that, because 9 out of 10 people that are gonna come into your home are gonna have financing. So I grab the square footage of the property and I do a range. I grab the amount of bedrooms, amount of bath. I only look within, a mile, 2 miles from your property to find apples to apples, or compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. I also do my own adjustments. So, in the way that I see, there's properties that are a little bit bigger, then I'll do adjustments on that, or there are properties that are a little bit remodeled. All of that you can do within the MLS. Okay. So I pick my comparables, and then the system gives me a low, medium, average, and high. Okay. So I would go over the average. I would say, look, Mr. Juan, the average listing price that's telling me here is 320 based on what's been sold in your area and the adjustments that I did, because I know your home. The system does. How do you feel about that number? You're gonna always get something like, I was thinking more like 350. And then you can always say this, look, that's completely fine. We're a team. I am going to go ahead and less than the number that you told me. We can try 350 because it's not too far off. We do have comparables that have sold at that price. But let's do something. We need to read the market. We need to listen to the market. And once the market talks to us, then we can change after that. And how do we do that? By measuring the amount of showings we get, by measuring the amount of cost that we get, if you've been on the market for 2-3 weeks and you haven't gotten one call, no one showing, and no one contract, your price is too high. It's that simple. Because even properties that look crappy will get calls at the right price. Okay. So, and at that moment, you're going to have an easier conversation because you showed them the data. You told them you don't agree with 350, but you told them that you'll try. Okay. And then I'll go over the average days to market. So the average days to market is just the average of how long it takes a property to sell within that subdivision. And here is giving me 30 days. So you're going to tell them, look, Juan, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be giving you a call if 350 doesn't work because I have 30 days to get you top dollar. So that will be also a way for you to just, lower the price later. But you're not telling them no. Don't be that realtor that doesn't take an overpriced listing. You know how many deals I've taken for overpriced listings? Insane. I can't even tell you how many. So always take the overpriced listing. Just be honest with your client. We have a fear that if we don't agree with the client, we're going to lose them. No, stick to your ground. You know what you're doing. You know how to run numbers. Your property is worth 320, but I'll try 350 for you. That's it. Just be honest with them. Okay? So after I do this and we agree, okay, we're going to list the property for 350, then we go over the seller's net sheet. And the seller's net sheet looks something like this. Now, this I created. Hold on. I don't know why it's not coming up. Let me see. I want it bigger. Okay, can you guys see this? Can you guys see this part?
It's a little bit far away.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 1 second. Let me see if I can do it like this. Beautiful. There you go. Can you guys see it better now? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So
we could zoom in, yeah, we see it.
okay, let me actually zoom in a little bit more for you guys. 1 second. Let's do okay, there you go. So this is if you guys need at any moment proceeds calculation or you wanna get calculations to send some partner with lifestyle title, we can do that for you on the spot. So if you guys at any moment need something like this, just reach out to me and I'll give it to you fairly quickly before your appointment. Now, I created this myself. This is a spreadsheet. The first listing I ever sold, I told the seller, look, Mr. Seller, we're gonna list a 475. I deducted 6%, and this is how much you're gonna net. At the closing table, he netted $8,000 less than what I promised him. That's the first and the last time that happened to me. So I created this spreadsheet and got myself informed on what fees a seller can potentially have. So we'll go over, for example, 390. It's just as an example that I put this guy like a net that I put up, and I do 3 different scenarios. Now the way that I present this, I won't go with the highest scenario. I'll go with the lowest scenario. So because I know the highest scenario they're gonna like. Of course, I don't need your agreement on that. Remember, you're gonna agree on price. So you go to the lower scenario, which if it was 350, let's say that the seller wanted to do, then I would put 350 as his choice, 340 and 320. 320 is what property the actual is going to the property is going to sell for. So I go over 320. So 320, we calculate the stamp duty tax, how much you owe to the mortgage, title, how much you charge, commission. I'll split it in 2. And listen, I'm discussing commission here, not at the contract. At the contract, it's too late. I'm discussing commission here. So I go like, okay, Mr. Seller, so you have your mortgage, your mortgage payoff, boom, boom, boom. Stamp the tax in Miami-Dade County is typically 60 cents per $100 of the sales price. You're going to pay a title company or an attorney to handle all your closing. And then comes commission. So commission, I typically charge 6%, Juan. Now, I need you to understand this. I don't get the whole 6%. The 6% is divided between 2 realtors because I have to pay the other realtor out of the 6% at 3% because they're bringing the buyer. Now, it can only get better from here. The most you're going to pay is 6%. But in the case that the buyer comes in without any representation, I'm going to give you a 2% discount, and I'm going to give myself a 1% increase because now I'm dealing with both sides. So I will only charge you 4% tops. That will be the best case scenario, Juan. And it's like, okay, perfect. If you get an agreement there and he doesn't ask you, doesn't rebuttal any commission or anything at all, you're golden. Keep going. Transaction fee, and then you do this. So if we sell at 380, let's suppose it's 320, right? If we sell at 320, we deduct all your fees, you're gonna be netting approximately $94,000. Now, Juan, look, I understand this is not the price that you want to sell it at. I completely understand that. But if I tell you right now that you walk away with $94,000, would that be something that you can't leave, that you can't live with? And if the answer is no, that that's fine, I can live with that. That's it. You list at 350. You agree on the worst case scenario on the net sheet, and you're golden. You're golden. That's it. So I forgot something, but we can fix that. So agreement on price is the second checkpoint. The third checkpoint is having them agree to the worst case scenario. Now, if they tell you they don't have a problem making the money as the worst case scenario, you're golden. Move on. If they tell you, oh no, that's too little for me, I wouldn't be okay with that, then at least you know the bottom line. At least you know what you were dealing with. And you can say, look, I'm not saying that we're going to sell for that low. I just want to know how you feel about that number. And that's totally fine. So the third checkpoint is agreement on best case scenario. After you agree on price, after you agree on best case scenario, which you already discussed your commission, only then you go to pull out the agreement. Okay? So the way you transition to that is very simple. Hey, Juan, look, so we went over what I want to do to sell your property. We agree on number. Everything looks good. Can we go over the agreements fairly quickly so I can get started with the sale of your home? And if the answer is yes at that moment, you got the listing. But and there's a couple things that I'm going to show you still. But you see how you can actually predict with this checkpoints how the appointment is going? Because if any type of rebuttal or any type of disagreement, you handle it early on and you decide at that moment whether you want to continue or not. It's your choice. But going blindly and not knowing what to do is just an equation for failure. And I want to also say this. In every business, in every sport, I mean, you name it, basketball, football, any business, Amazon, Tesla, whatever you name it, they practice their craft. Get a camera, record yourself. Let me actually stop here. You record yourself, you practice your listing presentation. It's astonishing to me how we make the calls or we have a listing presentation and we go blindly. We have no idea what we're going to say or what we're going to do. So you are going to do a presentation. You're going to have to convince a seller that you are worth $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. And the night before, you're at a bar drinking instead of preparing for your presentation, or you're sleeping, or you're not, practicing to make sure that you don't miss anything, to make sure that you actually close the deal. It's just astonishing to me. And the majority of us are like that. So this presentation, I created myself. No one taught me this. So I'm teaching you, right? I'm showing you this. No one taught me this. I learned this myself by trial and error. There's a bunch of mistakes that I've made in my listing presentation. I'm like, no, like that's only going to happen to me once. And I made my listing presentation flawless because of the mistakes that I've made. So at least those mistakes you guys don't have to make, right? And let's say you don't have any videos, you don't have any, just call me and tell me, Pablo, can you send me some of your videos? Phenomenal. I'll do it. Like if I may show you something quickly, like that was just my marketing folder. But if you go here back to my Dropbox, and I have a folder that's called property marketing. No, that's property marketing. And I go to my folder, I have a ton of marketing that I can send you unbranded. All of these folders have videos and pictures, like pictures, videos that are completely unbranded that I can literally just share with you guys. So it's not because you don't have the material. You have the material, but you have to prepare the material before your presentation. So now you go with the upfront agreement. So let's go back. Number one was upfront agreement, where you told them your useful shadowing and you told them what you are going to discuss during the meeting. Agreement on price with a CMA, and agreement on the worst case scenario. So the three checklists that we're going over with. Okay. Now you ask them that, let's proceed. Let's put out the agreement. So that way we can go ahead and make and you can get started with the sale of their home. So now you grab a listing agreement. Let me just grab one of these, whichever one I have here. Let me just grab this one, document. Where are you? Listing agreement. Okay. I may have to refresh this page. 1 second. Yeah. Most likely I have to refresh. Okay. So the agreement. This listing agreement, guys, bring one out, guys. Please do yourself a favor. Bring one out. Do a little stick, put it in ChatGPT. Put ChatGPT, can you go paragraph for paragraph and dumb it down for me? Explain it to me like if I'm 5. And learn that. Because imagine an attorney sending you a contract for you to sign, and you ask that attorney, hey, what does this mean? And then the attorney takes maybe a day to explain it to you, or doesn't explain it at all, or you can listen to them that they have no idea what they're talking about. How can you present a contract to a client and you have no idea what the listing agreement says? Trust me, there's a lot of those out there. Hopefully you're not one of them. So if you're going to present a contract to a client, make sure you read it and make sure you understand it. And if you don't understand something, or you can't explain something in that contract, then reach out to someone that can explain it to you. Okay? So I'm not going to go over the agreement here. That's not the reason why. But once you pull this out, you explain it paragraph by paragraph. You explain it to them what this means. Remember, this is checkpoint number 4. Once you get to the commission part, guys, the commission part, you already discussed. So while you're explaining it to them, and you get to this part, thank you, and you get to this part here to number 8, right? You want to explain to them how much the commission in here. You guys are seeing a 4%. Don't worry, I'm paying the buyer's agent 2.5. I'm actually not getting paid anything on this deal. I don't want you to think that I'm lowering my commission. Well, this is a repeat client, and they're buying a property in DR Horton that's giving me 5%, like $35,000 in commission. So I'm okay giving them a break, and they've done many business with me. So, but once you hit this part, you have already discussed commission, and they already told you okay with the net sheet. So you don't have to go over commission in the contract, because once you do it in the contract, it's going to be harder for them to sign. You don't want any confrontation at this part. No rebuttal, no objections. You want them just to sign. That's why we did everything we did in the beginning: foreshadowing, agreement on price, the worst case scenario net sheet. So we avoid any type of objection at the contract time, because anything that you explain here should not change their mind whether they want to hire you or not at all. This is just a tool that you need to put it in the MLS. It shouldn't hurt you. It should help you. So you continue going, you commission, blah, blah, blah. Well, there is a part here, and this is what's going to be the last point. Checkpoint number 5, schedule photos. Okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how you're doing that, how you're going to do that. So I'm going to start explaining paragraph 4 and 5. So I go, okay, Juan, so paragraph 4 and 5. So 4, what it means is that we have a fiduciary relationship with you, and the broker needs to act honesty at all times through the transaction. And paragraph number 5 is you just giving me authorization to post it in the MLS and have the promotion via the MLS. Now 6 is you giving me authorization to do all the marketing that you told me that I showed you in the beginning of this meeting. So here's you just give me authorization for sell, sign, video, website. You give me authorization to do all of that. As a matter of fact, Juan, how is tomorrow, or let's say Thursday at 2 p.m. so we can go ahead and schedule the pictures? And he's going to tell you, oh, you know what, Thursday, I'm a little tied up, but can we do Friday at 2? You know what, Juan, let me lock that in. Let me call my photographer real quick. You call the photographer. Hey, George, Friday at 2 p.m. Are you free to do a photo shoot? George already knows me. He's my photographer. He's going to say yes always, whether or not he's not available. And he goes, okay, so pencil me in. I'm gonna send you the property of the property address in a minute, and yes, just lock me in for Friday at 2. Boop, click. What did you just do there? Your client hasn't signed yet, and you already have the picture scheduled. It's foreshadowing. You want to get that done first. So you're just explaining the contract. They haven't signed. And on page number 2, you already scheduling pictures. So if he lets you, if the client lets you do that, signing is a breeze. There's nothing that can happen after that that can cost you the deal or that can cost for them not to sign. So then you continue explaining the contract after that. You have them initial the initials, and you have them sign at the end. Okay? So 5 checkpoints. Let's go over again for you guys that need to hear it. Upfront agreement, number 1. Agreement on price is number 2. Agreement on the worst case scenario is number 3. Agreement around contract terms. And number 5 and number 4 kind of go together. They commingle. Number 5 is schedule photos and next steps. But you do that while you're explaining the contract, specifically when you get to that paragraph about the marketing. So those are your 5 checkpoints. If you guys get these 5 checkpoints, you structure your listed presentation and you practice it, I can guarantee you that you are going to get at least 90% of all your listing appointments signed and ready to go. Okay? So that's it, guys. That's the presentation. Now I'm going to open it for questioning. And it doesn't have to be about the training. Just if you guys have any questions, need any help with anything, I'm going to take an extra 2-3 minutes so I can answer them. So I hope you guys enjoy.
I have a question. At any point, do you bring up the duration of the lease term? Not the lease term, the listing term, and then do you speak to them about the cancellation fee if there is one?
Great question. So I don't offer any cancellation fee. In my divorce cases, I do. I do either a $500 or $1,000 cancellation fee because those I have to invest money to be able to. It's just a process, different listing process, so I invest a lot of money. But I offer them a zero cancellation fee. Everything that I showed you, it's very inexpensive. Photos and video maybe $300. For sale sign is $50. The website is like $30 a month. I sometimes pay the premiums, the website premiums like every year. So I don't offer any cancellation. And for the terms of the contract, like the how long the contract is, this is what I do. And you guys can do the same thing. I learned this in a training that I did. Check this out. Okay, so let me put this here. So I'm sorry, what's your name? The person that asked me the question?
Rashonda.
Okay, Rashonda. So look at paragraph number 1. Paragraph number 1 here is talking about the term of the contract. If you see, I put a start date. That's when I meet them. And then I put on the end date, I put C number 15A. Now, if we go to number 15A, all the way to the bottom, which is the additional terms, I put this agreement expires 365 days after the listing is initially active in the multiple listing service. Wow. The reason why I do this is because, and sometimes I do 365, other times I do 180. It all depends. If they want to list super high, right, super high, that is completely unrealistic, hey, look, I'll list at that price, but give me a year. Okay. Because it's not gonna be easy. But if they list somewhat of my recommendation, then I'll do 180 because I know I can probably sell it in 6 months.
Okay. Do you ever get pushback on the transaction fee from the brokerage?
No, I never do that. Never.
Okay.
I have never got a pushback on the transaction. Never.
I think it's
You
the
know?
way that I present it because I feel like every potential seller, they're always turned off by that transaction fee. So then I end up being like, okay, I'll pay it.
Okay, how do you present it?
I just tell them that this is the fee that my brokerage charges for the transaction, and they give me
Phenomenal.
pushback.
That's why you're getting pushback. I'm gonna show you exactly how you present that.
Okay.
So you go over the fees, boom, boom, boom. You say your commission is like, and this is transaction fee, Roshanda. So yes, it's apart from my commission. No, it's part of your closing fee. If you don't pay it, I have to, right? But what that fee entitles is that by regulation, by the DVPR regulations, brokerages need to keep all closing documentations up to 5 years in a file cabinet. That's a lot of storage because we do a lot of closings. It's 2,000 agents. So every brokerage, not only Last Town International Realty, and as a matter of fact, you're going to see that the buyer is also going to have a transaction fee with their brokerage. They charge that to be able to keep that documentation physically. I never get rebuttal when I say like that, ever.
Okay.
Okay, so blame it on the law, blame it on regulations, blame it on something else. If you're saying that, oh, well, that's what my broker charges, they're gonna be like, why the hell am I paying you commission and I'm paying your broker? You pay it. Like
Right,
I'm
right.
only paying you. So you can't put it that way. You have to put
Okay.
it that way that something that they have to pay, like the stamp duty tax, like abstract title. Those are things that are non-negotiable. They have to pay it. So there
Right.
you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything
This,
else?
yeah, this is Monica. I have a question to piggyback on with the transaction fee. Um, am I doing myself a disservice not charging the transaction fee? I just feel like when I do a listing in particular, I do let them know about the transaction fee. However, I tell them that I'm going to pay it for them to make them feel like I'm giving them something.
I understand why you feel that you are helping them, and why you might create that psychology aspect, but it's not true. And I don't mean that you are lying or anything like that. That's not what I mean. What I
Hmm.
mean is that it's not really true that you are helping them. In the contrary, you are hurting yourself. Actually, you want to know how much I charge for my transaction fees? I charge $850, and they always pay it. Why?
Wow.
Because I want to repay myself back for any other expenses that I might have had that are aside from my commission. So for sales and all of that, on top of that, there is a way. So and hopefully Robert and Jessica don't kill me for this, but I get paid at closing. I don't want to wait 2 days after I close. I've been already waiting too long. 35 days, 40 days, 45 days. Why do I have to wait 2 more days to get paid? And sometimes it even takes longer. So there's something called a CDA, Commission Disbursement Authorization. You have to do that before you close because Lifestyle has to sign on it. Okay? So when the deal closes, this is how that works. When the deal closes, Lifestyle's 10% goes to Lifestyle from the title company, and my 90% goes directly to my bank. I don't have to do anything with Lifestyle. The title company pays me the day of closing. Okay? So I do that in a way because, man, I don't want to wait longer for that. And to answer your question about the transaction fee, and I know I rambled, I do that a lot. But no, charge it. I mean, and when a title company sends you, that's why I said that. When a title company sends you a wire to your bank account, you're gonna get charged twice. My bank charges for an inbound wire, and the title company charges to send me the wire. That's like 30, $40 sometimes. Why do I want to pay that? So I charge a higher transaction fee to cover those little small items. And it's just a non-negotiable fee. It's put into your closing costs. It's what you have to pay it. And I'm not gonna pay it for you because if I'm getting a listing for 350,000 and I'm already giving you a break on the commission. So Monica, this is what happens. They ask you for a break on the commission, so you go from 6 to 5, and then you tell them, "Oh no, I'm gonna pay you a transaction fee." You're losing. You're losing money left and right. So um so if you charge them the commission, and they have to understand this, the broker transaction fee is a transaction that everybody has to pay, just like taxes. It's non-negotiable. So when you put it that way, they have no option. They're not gonna not hire you, and I know what you do it because you think you may lose the deal because maybe broker X doesn't have a transaction fee, but you do. That's not the reality. They will give you the deal even if you charge up it. Trust me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helps. I know sometimes I speak a little bit aggressive, but
No,
trust me, it's going to go to
yeah, I'm upping my transaction fee.
heart. Yes, yes. You can charge whatever you want. Remember, you're your own business. Lifestyle gets $4.95. Whatever you charge from that, it's yours to keep. Okay. Hey, let me see the chat. I have some. Was this presentation recorded? Yes, Jonathan, the presentation was recorded. Can you repeat those 5 checkpoints, please? Okay, so I don't know what your name is, but I'll repeat it now. As a matter of fact, wait up. Let's be let's be smart here. Whoever asked me for the checkpoints, I'm putting it in the chat. Okay, there it is, guys. So if you want to copy and paste it from there, go ahead. I put it in the chat. Okay, Rochanda said, love that. What if you're a new agent with no listings? Gail, I believe that I already answered that question. Ask a manager of yours, ask me, whoever you want to so they can send you. The only one that knows, Gail, and I hope you're still here. Gail, if you're here, please let me know. Raise your hands or mute yourself if you're still here. No, I
Yes,
think
I'm
she.
here.
Oh, you're here. Perfect, perfect. Okay, Gail. So the only one that knows that you are new is you. Okay? If you presented whether I taught you to present or that I show you to present, unless you're hitting multi-million-dollar properties, those people care how much experience you have. When you're meeting a regular residential person, they don't really care. They're gonna go based on feeling, on what you are presenting, on what you're putting in front of them. Okay? So take away from your head that you are new. You know, if you don't know something, do it without knowing. If you're afraid of something or you're scared, do it scared. Who cares? The worst thing that can happen is that they don't give you the listing. No one is going to be there with you. You're going to get out. You're going to continue doing the same. Detach yourself completely from the outcome. Okay, whether you get the listing or not, it doesn't matter because you're always going to get something out of it. Okay, so if you're new, practice, right? That's how you become better. Practice your presentation and get videos and pictures from previous people or from you have a ton. I mean, we have 2,000 agents. Text me, text whoever your manager is or your partner is, and they'll send you everything they have and use it as yours. Who's gonna tell you no? You think the seller's gonna tell you, oh, that's not yours? Oh no, you're capping. That's not gonna happen. So take away the notion that you are new because years are gonna pass where you no longer are going to be new. So just take that out of your head. You're not new. You know what you're doing. You're an expert, and go get it. It's that simple.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me see. So true. You're in the agreement. Letting the agreement. Yes, that is true. Can you repeat the shape? Was that it is recorded? What if the new agent will not listen? I already answered that. I've done the same thing. Okay, great, perfect. Okay, perfect.
I have a question.
Yes, yes. What's up?
Have you ever had, like, after you've gone through everything with the seller, have you ever had an experience where they've told you that they want you to lower your commission? That 6% is too high for them and they want you to go lower. And how did you handle that?
Great question. So I've had, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have it as often now. I don't have it as often now just because of the way that Jesus, 1 second, guys. Just because of the way that I present myself. And right now I do have the track record. So most of my clients, they Google me, they put in Zillow account, they see my electronic business card, and to the outside people, I'm expensive. So when I go and sit with somebody, they already expect that I'm going to charge them the 6%. So typically right now I don't get any rebuttals when it comes to the commission. And since I do a seller's net sheet, I'm also mindful. So if I go to a listing appointment and they're not making much, they say they bought the property a year ago and they don't have that much equity, why am I charging them 6%? Like, give them a break. Like look, and you can tell them, look, I typically charge 6%, but since you're not going to be, you're not going to be netting that much or to help you out, I'm going to lower it to 5, right? So when you do that, you are showing faith. You are telling them, hey, listen, I'm going to try to help you, right? But for example, I'm going to coach you on a couple of things. Number one, never discuss commission over the phone, ever. If you do that, you become a commodity. When you become a commodity, they shop you around. That's the best way to lose the listing. Guaranteed. If somebody tells you how much should you charge over the phone, either a text or a call, look, Mr. Seller, I typically discuss numbers in person, but rest assured that I will work within your budget. Can I see you tomorrow at 5? That's it. You do not answer anything. You may feel that you're going to lose the listing if you don't answer. No. If you think you're going to lose the listing if you don't answer, you never had the listing in the beginning.
That makes sense.
So you have to like now. How would I answer if they want to lower my commission? It depends how they ask. It depends how much money they're going to make, right? So if they tell me, let's say, hey, Pablo, look, I think 6% is too much for me, and I was, can you help me out? Can you work on the commission? And I'm like, look, Juan, I don't like to do that. I would definitely work with you and work without your budget in the case that we have to drop the property or drop the price. Commission is negotiable at any point of the transaction. It's not set in stone, even if we agree on it on the listing agreement. But how do you think I'm going to behave negotiating for your property if I'm easily convinced to drop my fees? So I need to stand my ground, and I'm even say, depending on how comfortable I feel with them, look, I have a family just like you, and I'm doing a job, and I spend on this. Is what I also say. If you notice, my stuff looks expensive, right? The website, the videos, the things, the GPS, all of that looks expensive. This is what I get them. Look, John, the truth of reality is that I have a budget of $3,000 to spend on your home. Whether your property sells or not, I eat that money because I'm charging you zero cancellation fee. It's bullshit. I spend in a listing maybe $500, $600, right? But you tell them that because if they are treating you like a commodity, then treat them like a commodity. And you may say something along the lines, hey, look, out of everything that I show you, which part do you want to take out? Do you want to take out the ads? Do you want to take out the open house? Do you want to remove the website? Which one do you want to remove? Because if I'm lowering my fees, I can't do full listing marketing. I can't, because if I'm getting paid less, then I have to remove from somewhere. When you put it like that, I promise you they're gonna be like, no. Let's just leave it like that.
Yeah.
So, you if they're treating you like a commodity, like when you go to get an oil change, oh look, you can only get your oil change for $19.99, but if you do oil change entire rotation, then $29.99. And if you do tire rotation and change the cabin filter and the AC filter the AC filter, then you pay $39.99. You let them choose. So yes, I'll draw my commission, but then I'll spend less, and I won't spend the video because that makes sense. If I only take pictures, it's 175. If I take videos and pictures, it's like $400. So
Right.
I won't do video then, and I won't do the open house. So I won't waste my time sitting in your property doing an open house. That's it. So once you put it that way, because these are things that they absolutely want to get top dollar, they'll tell you no, just leave it like that. I'll pay it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have pushback? I'm sorry, I'm asking so many questions.
No, no
Um,
problem.
do you have any pushback on telling them that you're only gonna host an open house once? Because I have some, like I literally had a seller who had me doing open houses even after we were under contract.
Okay. I'm guessing this is Roshonda, correct?
Yeah, it's me.
Roshonda, you are the expert. When I hear things that I had a seller do this or do that, no. You need to put yourself in a position that you are the expert. You imagine you go to the doctor and you need heart surgery, and you tell the surgeon, hey, listen, can you do this instead of this because I think this is better? Can you use this tool, or can can you put anesthesia and leave me open so I can see what you're doing? Imagine telling a surgeon, telling a mechanic, or telling how to do their job. So why do you allow them to do that? Because of a fear of losing the listing. This is
Yeah.
all fears that are not real. They're not real. So say, no, look, let's make that make sense, Rashonda. Okay, so you want me to do an open house? Phenomenal. Every weekend, even when the property's active on the contract. Not a problem. Let's make that make sense. Why do you think that's efficient? Why do you think that's going to, why is the goal here? Because once we're on the contract, what do you think? Do you wanna build backup offers? Phenomenal. I won't put the property pending on the MLS until at least we pass inspection, or to at least we get closer to the financial contingency, and I'll keep showing the home. Perfectly fine, not a problem. If that's the goal. For me, doing an open house every single weekend, it's a waste of time. I'd rather spend my time. I'd rather sit on the couch and watch Netflix and eat ice cream rather than be on a Saturday afternoon at your house when no one is going to show. It just doesn't make any sense. So put a stop. Look, I respect that. I understand that. But the truth of reality is that open houses don't sell homes. Open houses don't build contracts. If a buyer is interested in the home, they're going to call me. And by calling me, I can set up an appointment with them to go see it. It's the same thing. Nothing is going to change. In that way, you can then maximize your time and you put yourself in a position of control. If you tell them yes, they're controlling you. Never allow that. Never allow that.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else?
Hey, what's up, Pablo? Pablo, what's up, man? It's Tito.
What up, Tito?
Not much, man. Oh, hey, I sent you a text. Can you send me the link? Because I was in and out, and I know I missed a couple of goodies there. Can you send me the link so I could rewatch it?
Yeah. They're gonna, it's recorded, so they're gonna put it on. I don't know where they're gonna put it. What's your name? Is it Jasmine? Jasmine, I believe it is your name. Where can you tell me where? And you can type it in the chat. Where are you guys gonna be putting this for the agents to rewatch it?
Thank you.
Oh, no problem, Tito. Thank you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Because Gail is asking that if we can put it in school. I think that would be a great option. So that's where I think it's gonna go, guys. School. If you guys don't see it there, just text me. Text me and I'll figure it out. Let me actually put my phone number here, guys, so you guys can take it. 786-366-9329. So that's my phone number. Call me, text me at any time. I will only not answer you if I'm talking to somebody on an appointment, but I will always call you back, or I'm drunk. If I'm drunk, I'm not gonna pick up a call. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoy the presentation. We've gone a little bit over time. If you guys have any other questions, just please go ahead and text me, and I can help you guys further. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in for the last hour. I hope it was informational, and I hope that you learned something. 2026 is going to be a great year. The question is, are you ready? Because if you're not ready, the train is going to pass you by. So get yourself ready. Always be ready, and become a master at your craft. Okay?
Thank you, brother. God bless.
Thank
You
you.
got it, guys. Take care.